Hello and welcome to my channel. In today's video we are going to talk about all things motivation. How can we improve it? How can we regain it when we lost it? And how can we reach for our goals? And how can we keep ourselves motivated and full of willpower? I invited a special guest, Tony Enwezor, who is a personal trainer and the business owner of Zone 24/7. Who has a very good insight on how to motivate people and how to really keep track of your goals and stay in the zone.
So hi Tony, welcome, and thank you so much for joining today. So we are going to talk about motivation, and since your full-time job is technically to motivate people to better themselves, I think you have a lot to say about that. And our initial thought is something that I heard a couple years ago when I went to a training, and they said that motivation is not really a skill, so it's not like either you have it or you don't. It is more like a muscle that can get tired, that you can run out of that energy that that muscle can give you, but that can also be trained to improve and to grow. So how do you think we can train our motivation muscle? What are the ways that you think are really effective?
Training your motivation muscles, it's just literally like training anything. It's just repetition. You've got to figure out what you want to do and just constantly do it. It's a habit. You've got, for example, let's say you're motivated to wake up in the morning to get stuff done. You've got to plan, okay, I need to wake up early at this time and get it done, and you go keep practicing until it becomes a habit. Let's say your goal is to lose a certain pound, maybe 5 pounds. You've got to practice doing the right things in order to get to where you want to be. Mm-hmm. And every time you feel like you're demotivated, you have to always revisit that goal. It's all about revisiting the goal repetitively to train that motivation muscle.
Mm-hmm. So we talked about this the other day, that in order to pick a goal, you really need to dig deep. Why is that goal important for you? And so long as you have a good why on why that goal is really important for you, that is something that will keep you going. And so long as you have that self-awareness that your why is something that's so super important for you that you're willing to sacrifice certain amount of stuff, as if, you know, the inconvenience of waking up early, or the inconvenience of building that habit, or like giving up snoozing in, or giving up money for that matter, or to really invest in that goal to really allow you to grow. So how do you define what is a good why?
Your why has to be your why has to connect to you emotionally. Mm-hmm. So I feel like if your why connects to your feelings, then your why will be a lot stronger. When you think about your why are you doing this? You always feel like, okay, I've got to get it done. So for example, when you have a goal, when you set yourself a goal and you ask yourself, okay, why do I want to achieve this goal? Okay, because I want to do this, that, the other. Okay, but why? How is it going to make you feel when you achieve this goal? Right. And then when you ask yourself that question, when you say, okay, it's going to make me feel this way when I've achieved this goal, then you'll be more motivated to achieve that goal. But if you're not asking yourself these questions and you don't actually know why you want to achieve that goal, you are going to get demotivated along the line. So your why has to be strong. You know when your why is strong, when it actually makes you feel a certain way, when it's connected to your emotion, your feelings. So
I also heard that if your goal does not scare the hell out of you, then it's really not a good enough goal. And I really feel that strongly, because whenever I pick something that I'm not like full on passionate about, I'm more likely to give it up. because it's just not shooting high enough.
This is what we're talking about. Your why has to be connected to your feeling. It has to make you feel passionate. It has to make you feel scared. It has to make you feel a certain way. If it doesn't make you feel a certain way, then you're not going to reach for it.
It is also true that our brains tend to talk us out of doing something that is still important to us. And I am just reading a book now called The Essentialism. I'm going to link that down below if you want to look that up. And it's really the aspect of really focusing what is essential in your life, what is really the most important thing to reach your goal, and that will keep up your motivation, and all the energy that you put out in several other directions wherever people, you know, might pull you to. If you just direct your energy into one certain direction, then you might achieve way more than achieving something tiny into a zillion direction. So what are your tricks when the brain starts to talk you out of something that is really important, however a little bit inconvenient to do?
Again, with that, it's all repetition as well. So it's actually interesting what you're saying about the brain talking you out of what you need to do, because the way our brain is designed, I actually read this in a book called Chimp Paradox, I think that's what it's called. So that's your chimp trying to keep you in a safety environment. So it doesn't want you to be uncomfortable. So anything that's comfortable for you is like, oh, don't do that, don't do this. But you've got to be uncomfortable, and to get to that place where you need to be uncomfortable and do those uncomfortable things to get to where you want to be, talking yourself out of it it's okay, but you've actually just got to go for it and go for it and do it as many times as possible until it becomes a comfortable thing, until it becomes something that you are now able to do. If you wanted to start a business, you've got to be the face of your business. You've got to be on camera most times. So you've got to be on camera most times. Most people are not comfortable with it. I never used to be comfortable with it. I used to be like, oh, camera. Okay, I'll get on the camera. I'll stutter a few times. It was uncomfortable. But the more you do it, the more you get closer to getting it right. And when you get it right, how's that going to make you feel?
Right.
It's going to make you feel good. And then the more you listen to yourself as well, you've got to be, the first stage is being aware that you feel this way. The next stage is doing something about it, which is repetition, practice, keep going. And once you've built a habit and once you've gotten used to it, you've just got to listen back and review.
There was one more interesting concept that I only heard from you, that when you are really reaching towards your goal and trying to gain your motivation, you always need to ask yourself how hungry you are. So that was a very interesting concept when I was looking around myself. How come there are not that many motivated people? Why is it so difficult to keep up your motivation? Why are people so scared of getting out of the mediocre life and really reaching towards something big? And that's when you hit home with that thought that, oh, they're just not hungry enough. So how do you keep up that hunger within you when there's really so few people around who are similar?
So first things first, the first stage is asking myself why.
Yeah.
Why do I want what I want? How is it going to make me feel if I achieve what I want? Another thing is visualization as well. You think about you think about the end goal. Think about the end goal and be like, okay, this is going to feel good when I actually achieve this.
Yeah.
And then you start to do it. And then when you feel like you're demotivated, you ask yourself, do you actually want this? Do you want it? When you ask yourself, do you want it? Then you're gonna chase it more because you actually know you want it. You're asking yourself, how hungry are you? How much work are you willing to put in to actually get it? that's another thing. That's the whole thing with the hungriness as well. So how hungry are you for this? How much work are you willing to put in to get this? Are you going to quit now, or are you going to are you going to keep going? So you ask yourself why first. You ask yourself why. Once you figure out your why, how that connects to your feeling, especially when you feel down, you always have to remind yourself why. Connect with your feeling. How hungry are you? What are you willing to do? Are you willing to do this in order to get there? And that's just how you. Yeah.
I also know that maybe not even on a conscious level, if there is an obstacle in front of our goals, we tend to quit easier. So I found that in order to reach my goals, I have to make it so easy to go for it and so easy to take those steps, as in not being able to talk myself out of it, that I cannot say that, okay, because of this, that's why I can't. But I can say that, okay, there's really nothing stopping me from doing this, and I just have to go for it. And it's so true for gyms. Like, if there is a gym that you have to travel half an hour for, then I can say, you know what, that's just half an hour there, half an hour coming home. Like, I wasted an hour just by commuting, and it's pretty much the same as my workout. So how do you take those obstacles out of the way when there is really so much that you can say that why not to go for it?
See, this is where the question again comes in. How hungry are you? How hungry are you? Are you willing to walk 30 minutes to the gym and do the work and come back again another? Are you willing to sacrifice an hour of commuting time to get to where you want to be? And then you ask yourself, how hungry are you? Why are you doing this? Think about the end goal. Visit the end goal. And it's so easy. It is very easy, and I've come across it so much, a lot in my journey, training and trying to run a business. Like, I've come across this a lot in my time, and it's just like I'm trying to find ways to make things easier for myself, and it's very easy to make a decision that's very easy for yourself, but the easy stuff is only short term. You've got to do the hard stuff. You have to sacrifice the short term pleasures for the long term hardship kind of thing. So you have to kind of think of it that way. It's never ever going to be easy as well. But the best way to find the motivation to continue to do the hard stuff is by thinking about the end goal. Think about the end goal and asking yourself, how hungry are you? Why do you want to achieve this? How would you feel when you achieve this? And that's going to sort of spark up some intrinsic motivation. So that's how I tackle it. I just ask myself, how hungry am I?
So Tony, where can people connect with you to look you up? Do you have anything planned in the near future? Something exciting going on?
Yes. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube. If you type in Zone 247, you will find me there. At the moment, I'm working on Transform 30. Well, I've already worked on it. It's basically a 30-day workout, especially for everyone that's indoors. It's going to be a home workout. You do not need any equipment. Anything at home can be used. So plan up to sign up. If you go on my Instagram, the sign up link is there. With part of the proceeds, I will be donating to NHS charity as well. So it's all for a good cause.
Amazing.
And it's all to get everyone moving and get everyone active as well.
Wonderful. I'll link all these links to get to Tony in the description below. Thank you so much, Tony, for your nice and wise words. And let's keep up our motivation together. And let's stay in the zone, right?
Yes, let's stay in the zone. Stay in the zone.
See you, Tony. Thanks a lot.